everybody. It is time for today's Simpler Business Chat live stream. And I am hang on a minute, I'm very worried I've pressed the wrong button. No, we're good. I pressed the right button. Okay, we're going to talk simpler business. We are doing little live chats all this week. Not all this week, 4 times this week, sharing a little something to help you simplify the way that you work so that you find it more enjoyable, you get more done, you get better results, all of those things. So yeah, we're going live. I'm also contacting books from my kids' school today, so you might see a little bit of that going on. What are we going to talk about today? Okay, so Monday we talked about little things that you can do to make the job or the task that you're working on feel easier. So you can go back and watch Mondays for that one. Tuesday, we talked about little things that you can do to make the job or the task that you're working on feel better, because when you feel good when you're doing something, it's often easier to get into that state of momentum and flow. And today, the focus that we're going to talk about is letting go of the need to do things perfectly. This is a bit of a bugbear for some of my clients because they feel like, hang on a minute, if I'm working online, I need to be polished, I need to be glamorous, I need everything to be smooth and work well. But you know what? When you want to make everything perfect, often that means you procrastinate more. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've followed somebody on social media and they have amazing content, and then you can tell when they're going through a bit of an imposter syndrome phase where they're worried that they're not good enough, things aren't glam enough, things aren't perfect enough, because they just disappear, right? And then they come back like 6 months later with, hey, everybody, it's been a while. I don't think that how you present your information is really that important. I think that the message that you're actually sharing and the information that you're actually sharing, the learning that you're sharing with other people, the message that they're getting, that's the important part. And for example, you're going to see this when you look over my past live streams. Some of them I have hair and makeup done because I'm filming that day for other stuff, and others I look completely different. I don't have any makeup on, my hair needs a wash, my outfit's not great. Doesn't matter, because that still translates into clicks through to my offers and sales, because what I'm actually sharing is helping the people that are seeing it. They're not coming on to live streams and they're not watching your reels and they're not opening your emails and looking at your content because the way that you're presenting it looks good. Yes, it's helpful. It's always nice. I mean, I'm not saying you have to make things look bad, but people aren't opening and consuming your content because it looks perfect. They're opening and consuming your content because you have a way to help make their life or business better. You have a way to help them make more money. You have a way to help them feel better about themselves. You have a way to make them more better. You have found a way to help them make something easier in their business or life. There are garbage trucks going past right now, so we're just going to take a second and give them a minute to do their noisy thing. This is another example of not needing to be perfect. If I wanted my live streams this week, if I waited until they were perfect, I would never do them, because there would never be a perfect time of day because I'm working from home. Sometimes people walk past and the dogs start barking and you hear them on my live stream. That happens in my podcast as well. If you've been listening to the Simpler Business podcast for a while, you'll notice that sometimes you can hear my doggies barking in the background. And that's because I work from home. I record from home. That's just life. Does that change the message that people are getting when they listen to my podcast or visit my live streams? No. Are they still getting helpful content that's going to help them make something easier in their business? Yes. That's the important part. You've got to think about it from a filter of people who are watching and consuming and reading and acting on your content. What's the filter they're viewing all of that through? This person is helping me. This person is teaching me something. This person has a solution that can help me. That's the filter they're going through. Whereas we're going through a filter of, are people going to think I'm good enough? Are they going to think this is enough information? Am I rambling too much? Do I look okay? That's all a mindset thing. It's all an internal thing. So if you want to work better, start by letting go of the needing your work to be perfect. Okay? Just get it out there in whatever format that's easiest for you right now. Think in terms, not perfect, easy. How do I make things easier? How do I make things feel better? How do I make things simpler? What's an easy version of me doing this? Because the easier it is, the more likely you are to do it. So yeah, you'll notice on my live streams, sometimes I have no makeup on, sometimes my hair looks nice, sometimes it doesn't. I don't schedule a start time or a finish time for my lives. I think it's great if you do. You're going to get more viewers if you schedule your live streams and you let everybody know ahead of time that you're going live. You're going to get more live viewers. People can still watch the recording though. So if you don't get a chance to schedule them out, like I don't have to, this week it's just me winging it when I have 10 minutes, and that's fine. It's totally fine. There's no definitive length. I'm not putting any pressure on myself to go for half an hour. Just a few minutes for chatting is fine. My call to actions on the live streams, if you've been watching the other ones, it's all the same one. I'm speaking at a summit later this month, and I'm sharing simple ways to create your content, creating content in a way that aligns to your personality and your natural strengths and interests. And that summit, you can get your ticket through my bio link. It's the same call to action every day this week. So we don't need to confuse anybody with multiple things to do. If they like the live streams that I'm giving, they're going to go through and click through for more, and they can get more at that summit. And I'm just talking about things that come naturally to me, like I'm having a conversation with anybody. Things that I could talk about all day long. I could talk about simplifying business all day long. I can talk about little hacks, making things feel good, making things easier all day long. I could talk about it in my sleep because I've been doing it for 10 years. So it's easy. What's your version of that? What are you doing that is easy for you that other people are struggling with? Start with that content. Deliver it in a way that suits you, that feels good. I like live streams because I don't have to be super flashy. I don't have to script them. I don't have to follow a teleprompter. I can just talk. I have other content for, people who watch me or follow me or on my email list. If they prefer a more structured approach, they'll get my emails every week. They'll get my podcast episodes every week. They can consume it that way. But for the people who don't mind a little chat, just a little casual chat and like to wing it with me, that's what these things are for. Just a nice, quick, friendly chat as if I was going to have a cup of tea with a friend. What is your version of that? What's your version of easy content or something that doesn't have to be perfect? Because if you start focusing on how can I get my message out without feeling like I have to do it perfectly? If you find your version of that, you're going to show up way more consistently. You're going to get comfortable so much faster. You're going to get familiar with the things that you love to talk about because you're doing it more often. Things are going to flow. Things are going to feel easy. You're going to find it easier to give your own calls to action and offer your own paid products and services so that it's easy for people to buy from you. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't put pressure on yourself to make things perfect. Because what is perfect anyway? My version of perfection is going to be different to yours. Do you remember when we used to watch shows before streaming and binging was a thing? I remember when I was a kid, we would wait every week to watch a half-hour episode of our favourite show. And then as I got older and they started releasing the DVD versions of those shows, I loved renting or buying them, going right back to the start of the show and watching right from the beginning. And part of the kick that I got out of that was comparing how everybody looked on the latest episodes compared to the first season. Like, what had changed? I thought it was really interesting. How had the credits changed? How had the music changed? I don't know. I find it really interesting. And I think if those shows that I were watching were waiting for a particular perfect way to do things, then I wouldn't have that beautiful journey and those changes to watch as a consumer. So yeah, let's get your stuff out there. Let's start talking to people about how you can help them. Let's make 5 bullet points on a spreadsheet on a Google Doc. And then you hit your own live button and just say to people, hey, I'm going to help you with this today. I've got 5 points that I want to share with you. Point number 1 is this, chat about it. Point number 2 is this, chat about it. Just as if you were going out for a cup of tea with somebody or lunch with somebody and they asked you questions. Anyway, that's another way that I simplify and get work done. I let go of the need of perfection. I recommend just dropped half the contact I'm covering books with. I recommend you let go of the need for perfection too, and let me know how it goes. Okay, that's it. We might not be live tomorrow because I'm going to the movies, because I go to the movies every Thursday. I take Thursdays off. But if something comes to mind and I've got a few minutes, I might jump on. So if you're not following, follow if you want to do more live streams this week. Friday also is going to be a nice quick one, but I don't know when I'll go live. So I think they have notifications you can turn on for these. If not, don't worry, you can always watch the recording. Okay, I'm going to go and I'll see you next time. Bye.